Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. Well, it's definitely not going to be this short, so I'm pretty sure he's going to unrest it pretty soon. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for all of 5 minutes. Well, actually, it was closer to an hour because I had to walk away from the recording for a little bit to deal with something. So, you know, you're welcome, Runo. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runo. I mean, it technically was for longer, right? My lord! What if I might say something at this point? Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, truth be told, but all of a sudden... The answer's bodily obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no, this again. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
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 What a eerily familiar sight. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, what remains must be the truth. That's my line! I wrote that for Hurley! Ah, how dare you use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be. This is one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Hina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That is beyond any doubt. Because we know that's not Herlock's blood on the thing, right? So that can't be from his. So I think that also proves it. Discounting the whole angle element of it. We'll proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Oh, he's just assuming now. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? The Outdead Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you'll each explain on which grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Okay. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us, law-abiding citizens. Yeah, fuck you. There's only 2 bullets are found at the scene. I would say the whole case is done and dusted. Okay, I think, I mean, that's a fair argument. I will say fuck you to anyone who's just like, hey, let's not treat criminals as like real people. I will say that. Oh, you don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was the pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. God damn. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Okay. That is a reason. It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fella bought like House of Cards, I saw that I jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris? The prosecutor's being mean. Yeah, I think he does that a lot. Just because Kitty's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this Rudy vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here is to the truth coming out. Eventually. I wonder. Counsel, proceed with summation examination. Yes, my lord. Honestly, Ryunosuke feels like the most confident person in the room right now. So, let's prove him right. Yeah, I'm not sure that's useful. I don't think we have anything to reject that. There was... I would just want to ask about this. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. Huh? There's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? Actually, oh no, was he the one operating on Sherlock? Herlock? I just put that together. Was he the one operating on? I almost don't want to ask, but the surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on. What was the fellow's name now? Herlick? No. Herlock? No. Herlock. Herlock Sholmes, by any chance? Oh, yes, good lord. Oh my goodness, did you leave a scalpel in? What was that Herlock fellow? What? Okay, you're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes. Well, that's right, using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you that. This is crazy. Oh, let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened it up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb, and I couldn't find the bullet anywhere. Shit, that's not good for me. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. Wait, what? I hate to say the obvious, but... Yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. Counsel for the defense is correct. As clearly shown in this photographic print. The bullet that the Skokin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region. And exited his body and lodged in the shop wall where the calendar is hanging by the door way up there. I'm not that still doesn't make sense. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Oh, who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. Juror previously known as juror number 6. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did. There wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet left the body at all. Wait, but what happened to the bullet then? What? Well, that's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Somebody please explain how it happened. And please somebody solve this mystery. It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Wow, okay. Mr. Rather bullet and it was infuriating. Where's an expert when you need... Oh, there we go. There's nothing I do not know about guns. I want to press him just so I can get more about the mouse, though.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Yeah, there's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert. Who knew? I have much expertise with guns. Ah. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, voidance, bloods of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Ah, those extreme violent bloodbaths. The mouse is just like having war flashbacks right now. I remember them all. I was there for all of them. English is very difficult to tongue. Oh, I agree. It's a stupid language, but I know it, and that's the important part to me. I sort of know it. I know it well enough to get by. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have a question about bullets and gun, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve. Very, very unsubtle game. He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But possible, please, only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? No, still. We should bear in mind, he's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. Yay!
Objection!
Okay. Those two statements clearly contradict the idea the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Okay, yeah. Oh, a ballistics expert. Beating Pittsburgh. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers, but since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet did not pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, it fell out. A bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Violin. Pleased to meet you. Hello, very nice to meet you. Also, was that the revolutionary's first name? This apparent contradiction in the facts is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situation in motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. Mental no. Don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullets in my body. No signs of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? Well, it never hit me. Wait, what? Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Well, it hit a frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lumps of ice and pierced my body. I made a deep wound that looks just like bullet wound. Good gracious? Okay, that is not what I was expecting. So are we saying... Fuck, what does that mean then? Good gracious. Of course, a piece of ice quickly melts inside me. And that is solution of mystery of disappearing bullet. I mean, it sounds feasible. Except something else that would have to been hit for... locked it. But that doesn't answer the question at all. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. Now some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Runa, where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, then that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. Where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations. Wait, that might be worse than getting shot. Wait, okay, it depends what the chemicals are. Wait, what, really? Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I remember. If I may. Lord Van Zees. Well, I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Oh, thank goodness. I was getting forgetful for a moment. Maybe I left it inside it. I left that inside the surgery opening as well. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution present the item in question with all speed. Bring his pouch, yeah! I see. So this is the pouch worn by, Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that. One of them is broken. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So, that night, the bullet from the Skulkin Brothers gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass vial that exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate a victim, but was deflected into wall of shop. Okay, that makes some semblance of sense. But what about the blood, then? I mean, that doesn't add up. Delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Damn it. Due to sparing in the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Are these pouches and scruffy? Oh my goodness, it would have been hilarious if they entered it as Sholmes' scruffy pouch. That would have been the fun. They should have done that. That would have been fantastic. That would have been worth it. Scorch marks around it. Oh, we gotta look at it. Scorch marks. Oh look, there's a hole here at the back? It doesn't look much like a bullet hole, but clearly something's ripped through the letter with great force. Something must have pierced it somehow to have left this hole behind. Yes, it looks that way. Mr. Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they? Right, but that would have had to... That probably would have been the file exploding, right? Some smashed to pieces. Presumably, this is where the bullet... where the bullet struck. As soon as the bullet hit the chemical in the file, there would have been a really big explosion. A big explosion? Well, Hurley's potions and chemicals are amazingly useful for investigation work he does. But they're also quite tricky to handle. Safely, at least. They're very dangerous. Oh. I'm sure that when this file broke, the chemical inside would have ignited. Note to self, always walk on the right-hand side of Sholmes in the future. Left. He's the danger zone. Got it. What about these other ones? Full of homemade potions. Homemade. Yes, like fingerprint powder to show up where people have touched things. And scent amplifying solution to intensify the smell lingering on an object. That's amazing. They're all very easy to use. Just one thing that you have to be careful of. They're all very flammable. Mr. Sholmes is a walking bomb. If he's passionate about finding out the truth or just oblivious to the dangers. Or pretty just okay with being sent to the hospital. Yeah, it's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap is broken, look! This must be where the bullet hit, then. Let me see. What? Well, what the? Iris, look! Wait, it's literally... Oh my goodness. I didn't think... Behind where the broken file was, do you see? That's the Skulkin Brothers bullet! What a stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets Yes! Thank fucking goodness. Oh, I knew there's 3 bullets. I feel so validated. On exactly what the juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. Time to press the juror again, I think. Holy moly, that's important. That's so incredibly important. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. Please, my lord. A little more time. I think we just figured something out. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. Could be a valuable clue. And you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. Yeah, definitely. We might be ahead of the curve, though. Still a way to turn this around somehow. I'm sure of it. Yeah, that's the game telling me to examine it. I can tell that much, at least. So we want to...
Hold it!
Press him again. Then I ask you to reconsider your leanings, sir. Oh no, that's another matter entirely. Sorry. It just said press him again. Like, didn't we literally say press him again? Didn't we literally just say? We have to press the juror again. All I can think about for the moment is the wonderful sense of relief I have now that the mystery is solved. I need some time to let that sink in before I possibly could consider anything else. Alright! I thought surgeons had to be able to think quickly. Perhaps we just leave him alone for now while he savors his inner peace, and focus on some of the other jurors. I suppose we'll have to. Okay, then press this juror again? No, he's not different. Fuck it, I don't know. One of them was like, we have 3 bullets now, and that's... She did directly say that shit, right?
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced, then. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always have to tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes. Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere, of which we were unaware, very subtle game, I'd have to reconsider my position. I like that they're typically unsubtle about shit I already figured out, at least. Or at least was suspecting beforehand. I can prove it! Yes, I can! Allow me to show you, then, the 3rd bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Da-da-da. Yes, on the night in question, Winnipeg's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Shom's pouch. What? Ah, weren't careful enough in examining your evidence. The thing you just handed over. The pouch was removed from around Mr. Shom's waist before he was taken to the hospital, and since then has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Shom's. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. Ah. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Winnipeg and that belonged to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. Ah. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency somehow explained, We cannot and must not pass judgment. Iris is so fucking short. I know she's a kid, but like, it really stood out. Well, the summation examination remains incomplete. The court has been presented with the new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which his case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter. What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Okay. Are we gonna stay on not guilty for everyone still? No one's gonna like switch their vote just so we can like be forced back into it? Witnesses? Governor! Were you listening to the proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor. We was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? We don't make nothing of nothing. Is it one of yours? Go blimey, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What, eh? What? Never the Skoken brothers work alone. Oh, you mean you have a third brother, though? Just the two of us, that's our trademark. You... How soon we forget poor Sulky? Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's a head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes. I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture. A picture of what really happened that night. Okay. Like they're talking about an accomplice, and I'm not sure what other option there is. We've had people, like, in this story show up and not be relevant to the case. So maybe one of them? I mean, if we're talking about this case alone, there's that one other guy that showed up. With the whole, like, disc record thing. And they were, like, going on about it before, where they're like, oh, no, well, we shouldn't say anything. You know what they're gonna do to us? And they're, like, acting like there is something else going on. Like, someone else was threatening them, basically. Which I imagine is very relevant to whatever's going on with why, Gregson's here. Maybe relevant. Maybe. My lord, I think it's clear that this third bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had a secret accomplice. I did that very confidently. I might regret that. On that night at Winnebank's Pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a third man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present. Someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
You implied it too, you motherfucker. An accomplice, you say. You implied it too. And you're scathing at questioning. Well. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has not been a murmur of a third man. And this apparently Ray-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. Skulkins are lying, I know that. I don't know about identity, though. I mean, there's like one idea that comes to mind, but I have no idea how I connect it to him. You know, let me double check the blood sample stuff. So, you know, okay, so that was green, and that was green. Both unknown. We know it's not him, at the very least. So we're pretty sure those are the same, at least. And we know they're not Sholmes, too, which was the concern I had in my head. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, Council. I guess the one logic I could use for it is this guy's, like, related to, like, everything going on there. Like, he really wanted that disc, at the very least. Well, Council. And the fact that the blood's on it does... Oh, wait! That blood came from, like, that the blood wasn't, like, prior to everything. That blood came from him getting hurt, didn't it? Oh! Okay, yeah, that's a solid connection. Fuck, I forgot about that. I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity, even. In response to the prosecution's demand, my lord, the defense is ready to present answers. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers to the prosecution's demands. So, my Nibonese friend, despite the swooning eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me, if it will make a difference. Like the newspaper. Okay. In the moment leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there's a third intruder present at the scene? Well, we have the disc, but I think that this is much... This would be the thing I want to present.
Take that!
The evidence is right here, in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Ugh. Do you expect the court to rival your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of these blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which is it? Well, two of the four. I mean, I'm just going with that one.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. Bloodstain? Ugh. Green blood. Curious even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? Well, considering how you treat criminals. It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, by the great detective! New invention? Not yet appear in stories. Stop! It's this, you see? It doesn't have a name yet, though. The fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yeah, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see? Because it's made up of different elements. By seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, well, that brings a whole extra dimension in looking at blood. That's a thing to say. Talk of blood in courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop. Oh my goodness, she's so excited. I actually do sort of like her as a character. Like, she's very open-minded. I like that. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Oh, striking blue. Yes. So you see the green color of the blood stain on the calendar. Shows that somebody else was just shot in the main part of the shop. No fire there, young man. Could be for some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. Yep. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. which means it must be the blood of somebody else, the third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You cannot delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? I mean, there's really only one option, right?
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict. Everyone laughs. Egbert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Winnipeg's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Broker. Alright. Are we gonna review the fact that he hurt himself on it and that's his blood? Like, this is like a really fortunate thing for it to have played out this way. I'm gonna note. Like, ridiculously fortunate that we were able to get this blood. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Could you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And the interest of being thorough has been to beg for a print showing the fellow. Taking for one is red-handed regarding gun business. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Winnipeg that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. I've never seen the geezer before in my life. Oh, he's totally the third brother somehow. Yeah, on my life, Gov, on my life. Never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I am sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. Now this is gonna blow her world. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something had been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into this courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Is... this again!
Take that!
That proof is right here, in this portfolio. Gracious counsel, does that portfolio contain the answers to every question posed? Yeah, blood seems to be a good, identifier here. I see you share my interest in claret-colored liquids, my Nipponese friend, but... enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime? Good thing there's only 4. And it's really straightforward. As I mentioned before, in the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim the disc from Winnebanks. Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. The man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession. No. That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. I was following this that a minor incident occurred. Yepper doodles. Yeah. This is where the blood got on. Okay. I forgot about Dude, forget about that. You've drawn blood from some part of his body, even though he's wearing gloves. I mean, that's impressive, I guess, to draw blood like that, but okay. Being a music box disc, it has countless little small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's fingers to bleed, even though he's wearing gloves. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a bloodstain, is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty Fokker gun. I hope that stays as the name. Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio.
I say,
It's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. Someone else there.
look at the two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here.
You're making excuses. I bet that was one of the brothers just like yelling out. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of the law.
Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in the series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A guard to detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land. You expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turn a shade of green, what of it?
Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Yeah, that's, yeah. That was always the question on my mind, like, And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Oh. I mean, yes. I mean, that's just the nature of how it works. It's obviously not going to be perfectly... I mean, it's blood, right? It's just a blood type, ultimately. There's probably like 5, 6 different colors, right? Between all the different blood types. So yes, there's probably a lot of others that could turn green. But at the same time, we still know a third person was there. There's a third bullet unaccounted for. There's so many questions left. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But, what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Ah. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Okay, do you think we're gonna get some...
What did you just say, younger?
Do we, like, talk to the surgeon about blood? And in summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Ugh. So, the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. Or at least, not for now. Yes, she's right.
Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Runo. Is that about right, what do you say? Or did I misunderstand something? That's nice logic. Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner.
is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. Yay! After that shrewd process of the situation from entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion, yes. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks for you for your final leanings in this manner. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to a fair and just conclusion. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay, that feels like a random. Why is new inventions going guilty? 2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. It seems sort of random. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. Yeah, but that's not how the law works. Nah, 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 boo boo. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zeeks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Ah! Yeah, he's very mean to the jury. I will note that. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that it will be impossible. What? The name of the gentleman gave himself, Egbert Benedict, is quite clearly false. Because no one in this world has weird pun names. No one in this world has weird pun names. I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove this man was there that night. Well... could I say something? Who is that, please? It was me, my lord. Juror number 5, one of the ones who went guilty. What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector. Me, ma'am? I wonder if you might show me the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown. Ah, right, yes, this one you mean. Yeah, of Mr. Benedict. Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say... You know this man? Yes, I know him. Oh, don't tell me he's like your boyfriend. What? No. Good gracious. Every single coincidence in the world. Order, order, order. Juror number 5, how on earth? Well, I'm a communications officer. Stop. As we can clearly see. The gentleman in the photograph is... Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. Oh. A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away at the telegraph. Stop. Oh. Oh my goodness. This is going to somehow become related to the whole, like, leaks and stuff. The communication leaks. Oh my goodness, it totally is. Fuck. This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day. Whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. No, he's just a white-collar criminal. He literally has a white collar. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. Court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord. I'd like to hear from you specifically about the events of the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Go to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, that felt like a stopping point. Fuck, man. How much more is left, I wonder? It feels like there's still a massive hole in, like, the stuff we've learned. Like, the thing is, like, I just don't know how much of it's, like, actually going to carry over just to the next game. How much of it is... How much of this underlying intrigue is for this case versus something that's going to just be, like, an overarching arc throughout everything? Because there's clearly more going on, right? Either way, that's where I'm going to end this recording for the day. And, we'll see if we have 1 or 2 more recording sessions. I imagine it probably isn't more than 2 more, right? Okay, I'll see you all then. Drive safely, everyone.